Hello everyone. Today I'll talk about different things you can do in classic hardcore to increase your chance of making it all the way up to 60 to avoid dying, but also other useful things. And in my opinion, I would probably even consider some of these either being a cheat or well, a way to abuse the system. And there's honestly a high amount of players who do this to get an advantage. Therefore, I've also decided to include it in the video. So you might have tried this before. You need to use your Hearthstone right now to go back and hand in a quest. But you would also like to change your Hearthstone at the same time, so the next time you need to use it, you will be teleported to this location. This can be done quite easily. You just need to start casting your Hearthstone and then you change your Hearthstone at the same time. You just need to make sure you do it at the perfect time, so just as you're about to cast the Hearthstone. It will of course require a bit of practice to perfect this. But you can just make all characters and practice over and over. Or you could always get an add-on that will do this automatically. For example, RestedXP. RestedXP allow you to do an automated action. So just as you're about to cast the Hearthstone, it will change it to the current location automatically. You just need to make sure you set up the add-on correctly. So you have to look at your internet connection, so your MS, but also what the batching window should be. With a good connection, I usually just set the batching to be around 5 to 7. So if you pay attention to the bottom left, then you will also notice that Goldshire is now my new home. But I just managed to cast the Hearthstone successfully and got teleported to Northshire Valley. And like I said, it's an automated action. So just to prove it, I've moved my mouse away from where I hit accept when I need to confirm that I would like to change my Hearthstone. So all you need to do is just to cast your Hearthstone and open up the window where you need to confirm that you would like to change your home. For more information about this add-on, make sure to check out the description. Casters are some of the most deadly creatures in hardcore and have caused so many deaths. But you can easily counter these. When you pull a caster, you just need to get behind an object or a wall. So where you can line of sight the cast. This will force them to get close to you, and now you can attack it, go behind another object or a corner to prevent the next cast. So by doing something like this, you avoid a lot of damage, but you are able to hit them every time your next auto attack is ready. Another thing you can do to deal with targets that is difficult to kill or that does a lot of damage is simply just to CC them. In Westfall, you can find Dust Devils, and these has a chance to drop the magic dust. An item you can use on any target to CC them with a sleep effect. This sleep effect will last for 30 seconds, which is enough time for you to most likely take down one target and then go back to the target that is sleeped. Or maybe in some situations, you're even able to take down more than one target before the CC expires. So every time you're on Westfall, even as a high level, then I would recommend you to kill the Dust Devils. Because these items will be useful all the way up to 60, also when you need to do dungeons and kill different elite targets. Did you know you can also take advantage of the different guards in the game? As long as you're fighting a hostile enemy, then you can pull them right to the guard and they will help you. So why is this important? Well, just like in this case, I'm fighting an elite target and I will most likely not be able to solo this. But as long as I do more than 50% of its health in damage, then I'll also get credit and be able to get experience and even loot it. But it's going to be super important that you do at least 50% of its health in damage, else you cannot get any credit. And remember, as long as you continue to do damage to the target, then you will also be able to drag it for a far distance. As a Horde player, you can go to Durotar and complete this quest. This will reward you with an item you can use 10 times. The really sticky glue is an item you can use when you're running, and you can even use this from a distance. This will capture the target for 10 seconds and prevent them from moving. Super useful if you pull too many enemies or even an elite target. As an Alliance player, you can also pick up this quest, Gold Dust Exchange. And this is a low-level quest that rewards you with an item you can also use 10 times. This will reduce the chance to hit with 25% for 10 seconds. If it's possible, then I would highly recommend you to keep these for when you reach max level and you need to do difficult dungeons or maybe even raids. Did you know every single class in the game have the opportunity to range pull a target? This can be done with the magic candle, and this item allows you to cast a fireball that you can use from a far distance. So even as a paladin, you can now also range pull targets. You collect the magic candle in Elven Forest at this location, and what you need to kill is these kobolds. And because this item is so overpowered, then it's also recommended to be used as a level 60 paladin tank. The next couple of things will only be useful if you plan to use the mailbox as you level up your character on official hardcore. Let's say you made it to a decent level and you finally have a couple of gold. I would highly recommend you not to store it on this character. Instead, you could send it to an old character. So if you accidentally end up dying, then you won't lose a character and a lot of gold. You're just going to lose that one character, and the gold that you sent can now be used on your next one that you're going to level. Now that I'm already covering the mailbox, if your main character's inventory or bank slots is completely filled with items, then you can just send these to an old character. Then you can store these items on the old character or maybe even in the mailbox. Another thing you can also do is just to return these items. This will allow you to store the items in your main character's mailbox for 30 days. Next up is pretty much a mandatory add-on to get. It's classic Bestiary. This will allow you to mouse over a target and know the exact spells they will be using. So if you're unaware of a target, and if it's able to, for example, CC you, maybe even silence or do something else that is quite powerful, then you just mouse over the target, hold down Control, and then at the bottom right, you will see the spells and abilities of that target. This is definitely so overpowered, especially if you need to take down an elite target and you would like to know if you're able to kill it by yourself. The next thing is definitely something I would either consider a cheat or a way to exploit the game. You can change your graphic settings with a macro, so you swap between good and bad graphics. By spamming these macros, you now allow yourself to look in between different objects. For example, if you would like to know if there's a nearby target that you can't see because of an object. Not only is this insane, but it also allows you to sometimes loot a quest item through an object. For example, different ships in the game. Should this be considered an exploit and something you could be banned for? Let me know your opinion in the comment section below the video. Earlier in the video, I talked about rested experience and how it automatically could change your Hearthstone. But this is also an amazing add-on for hardcore leveling, because not only will it have a custom-made leveling route for no matter what class or race you play, but it also has some amazing features. For example, the active target markers. This will mark the target you need to kill and even target it. So useful when there's a lot of competition in an area, or if it's going to be the first time that you're going to do that exact quest. Another cool feature is that it will tell you when it's the best time to go back to a vendor to vendor your things, repair your gear, or even if you need to buy new water or food. And it even tells you the best time to use your Hearthstone as well. So if it's going to be the first time that you're either going to play that class, race, or faction, then this add-on is amazing, so you don't have to go around and figure out the best way to level your character. And it's honestly so easy to set up, and you can always swap to another zone. For example, in this case, if I was level 10, then I could choose the level 10 to 11 Elven Forest zone as a dwarf or gnome. On the map, it will now tell me where I need to go first. So as you can see here, number 1, then 2, 3, 4 and 5 and so on. And the moment I complete one of these things, it will also automatically go to the next one. In this case, I'm just not at the correct location and I don't pick up the quest, so I do this manually. In the configurations, you need to enable two things. First off, hardcore mode. Now you won't pick up quests that is going to be way too difficult at your level range, and where there's a high chance that you might end up dying. And you also need to enable solo self-found mode. So when it's on a fresh server, or if you plan not to use the auction house and the mailbox, then the guide won't tell you to either trade with a person or buy an item on the auction house to complete a specific quest. It will just skip this quest automatically. Another cool thing is that if you plan to do a dungeon, then you can enable this dungeon in the guide. So for example, if I had to do dead mines or stockades, then I can enable these, and now in the guide it will tell me the perfect time to do this dungeon, but also when and where I need to pick up the different dungeon quests. And what dungeon you can enable, of course, depends on the faction you play. So as an alliance player, it will not recommend you to go to Wailing Caverns. So is there a trick, an add-on or something else that I haven't shared in this video, which might be super useful to know about as a new player playing hardcore? Then let us know about this in a comment below the video. For more hardcore leveling guides, gold farms and other tips and tricks, make sure to check out the channel or subscribe to get notified the next time I post another hardcore guide. As always, thank you so much for watching and have an amazing day. Peace!